Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show. Most people know me as the foul-mouthed shock jock from the Classic Metal Show, or the no-nonsense heavy metal critic from pitriff.com. Now you get to learn the other side. My first book, Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness, comes out on January 13th in paperback and digital formats on Amazon and iTunes. It details my real-world emotional struggles over a year that included a divorce after a quarter-century of marriage and the death of my father. It profiles things I did right, as well as a bevy of things that I did wrong with the help of alcohol, and how I found my way out of the muck of the emotional state that almost saw me commit suicide. Pre-order your copy of Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness today at www.chrisaikenbooks.com and get in touch with the more fallible side of me, Chris Aiken. Sounds happy, huh?
Now I remember what I wanted to talk about earlier.
All right, we'll go back to it.
You and your brother are developing an app for the CMS.
Yes, we are. Actually, I will be seeing my brother next week, and you will be too, actually.
Right.
You're coming, and my brother will show it to you on both a... he will show it to you on an Android, and he will show it to you, at least on one of my computers, as a mock-up on the iPhone.
Nice.
Yeah, it's done. We have to color it still. I mean, it's not, the face hasn't been put on it yet, but the guts are all over it, and it's good.
So you're not going to end up being in a war with your brother on who actually developed it and who's the tracer?
No, we have an understanding on how this is going to work.
You're not just a tracer.
Nope, not at all.
Just reminds me of that Chasing Amy movie.
Right.
You're nothing but a fucking tracer.
Right.
I don't want your app. I don't want your autograph. I want the guy who actually drew Blunt Man and Chronic. You're just a tracer.
You're just a tracer, man. But no, that is news as well, is that over the break, and I'll put most of this on my brother. You know, me and my brother spent quite a bit of time over the break, you know, talking and, you know, we saw each other. I saw his family a lot. And during that time, you know, my brother is way smarter than me. And he does for a living is he develops, basically he builds websites and web portals for banks. So he's like a fucking serious player, where I'm just a fucking hack. But he does a lot of apps, so he didn't have anything to do. And I had told him about how I've been wanting to develop an app and I never have time. And like 4 days later, he's like, here, look at this. He pulled out his phone and was like, here it is, a CMS. And I was like, holy shit, that was fast. So yeah, so we do have an app coming, and it'll be for Android, it'll be for iPhone, coming soon.
Nice.
Probably very soon,
wow.
Like within a month.
Very awesome.
So you folks with phones, get ready. How long have we been hearing people saying, if you guys ever put out an app, I'd put it on my phone?
Right. Well, you're going to get it this year.
You're going to get it probably before March.
Right.
That's my hunch.
Right. Hey, we were the first to offer CMS ringtones.
Yeah, we were.
Candy Mountain.
Dude, we were, and even before that, remember we had the Vinny Appice ringtone?
Yeah, we had the oh yeah, I forgot. We did ask several people to give us MP3 audio so we could make a ringtone.
I remember it was like, hey, this is Vinny Appice. Answer your damn phone.
Yeah, something like that. I remember that.
Yeah, we did that. And that was when phones first came out.
Yeah,
man.
We had the metal app or the ringtone. Metal!
Yep.
My phone used to scream out metal when it rang.
My phone for the longest time had the what was it? You fuck with the bag, you lose the lunch.
Right.
That was my ringtone.
And I had the Candy Mountain app for the longest time. Hey, Charlie, hey.
You have to come with us to Candy Mountain. I can't do the voice tonight, but right. Yeah, I had that for a long time too. Candy Mountain was the best.
Candy Mountain.
I listened to that segment over the break.
That's what reminded me of it, because you shot me that text saying, I'm listening to the Candy Mountain segment.
God damn it, that was funny. We were that might have been us on our best. God damn it, that was funny.
Candy Mountain.
Candy Mountain.
But, all right, well, I'm excited about the app.
Yeah, that'll be good, man. We're making some moves, man. We're slowly
just chipping away at the stone.
We're trying to, but I mean, there's a lot going on. As you know, my world is busy as could ever be.
Sure,
but in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way for a lot of things, for the show, for personal life, for everything. So I'm in a forward. I'm like a wave coming in, killing Somalians or whatever country they were from.
Alan Kilcaller, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Big E from Detroit.
Hey, Big E from Detroit. Do you have your windows barred and you have your AK-47 locked and loaded?
You mean in anticipation of the big storm?
No, and the looters and the vandals that roam the streets on a nightly basis due to lack of law enforcement, being that you lived in a bankrupt town.
The place is a shithole. Absolute shithole. I can't wait to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. I make trips over there about once a month, and it's just like, I can't believe I'm standing here.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to Chris today, not Chris Aiken, my girlfriend Chris, and we were like wondering what's going to happen with this storm coming in, and it's going to dump a bunch of snow in Detroit, and then how are they even going to get the snow out? And they don't have any money. How are they going to plow the streets? People are going to be stuck there for days.
Well, you don't need to go to work, do you?
Is there any work in Detroit to go to?
Some. I actually have to go downtown tomorrow night. I'm teaching at one of the universities.
Who's paying for that?
I don't know. The money just shows up in my bank account.
Where do they import the students from?
Well, it's funny because the last couple of years I haven't actually been able to teach some of the classes that I normally teach due to low enrollment.
Well, I don't doubt that.
Well, that's not hard to believe.
No, it's
let me ask you this, dude. You're teaching at a college, I'm assuming, is that right?
Yeah.
So at the college, because basically no one has jobs in Detroit, have they lowered the tuition or not at all?
That's a good question. I don't think tuition's gone down. I think they're just cutting back on, services and whatnot until things come back up.
Because wouldn't you think at this point about $30 should get you a college course?
I went to the Renaissance Center about 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I was standing on the top floor looking across to Windsor.
Yep.
And I could have swore I saw the people over there standing along the riverbank saying, "Hey, you guys suck."
Let me ask you this, Big
totally
E.
Believe it. Yeah.
Would you go to Harpo's without two fully loaded assault rifles?
Is Harpo's even still open?
I think it is. I probably haven't been there in 10.
Out of fear, or just because there's no good shows?
I used to, when I was younger, before I was married, he'd go there all the time to go see whatever Overkill or Dream Theater or whoever showed up. It's no big deal. I do remember going to a Motorhead show there once, and then some guy dying afterwards. I remember driving home and I listened to the radio, and there was somebody was shot outside our post, and that's definitely happened. I haven't gone recently.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Hey, you know why black people moved to Detroit, don't you?
Cheap? I don't know.
Because there's no jobs there.
Unbelievable. Good God.
Well, what can we do for you? Did you call for a reason, or did you
just
call
actually
to bring my racism out?
You guys are good racists. You know that?
We're just racist to the core.
That's just Neeley, please. Keep Neeley as the racist
See,
thing.
if I worked for MSNBC, I wouldn't have to apologize for that joke. Because I was just being funny and, you know.
Right. Well, I was just listening to you guys talk about your app there, which is super cool. Looking forward to that. I assume it's a streaming app?
It will have access to the streams so that you can listen to the show or the CMS radio network. It will have access to the to all of the podcasts on Spreaker. It's going to have access to some content that's not going to be available on Spreaker, and all the kind of standard shit that you would expect. Links out to Facebook, links out to Twitter, blah blah blah. Chat room, all that stuff.
Okay. Well, listen. The real reason I was calling has to do with Eric Braverman.
Okay.
Because when you bring up the app, the CMS app, of course, I think about Roku and heavy metal television.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, he probably hasn't gotten you the IP address yet, has he?
He has not. And I've asked for it 3 times at this point.
And he swears that Chris never answers his email. Chris has emailed him several times, and he's not got back with him.
Has not hit me back.
Well, Eric Braverman, if you're listening tonight, send him the goddamn IP address so he can build you a Roku app, and people can just watch heavy metal television.
Yeah.
No big deal.
That's all it would take. And literally, not that our app is good that we have on the Roku, the CMS app. But
I listen to it.
And it does work.
Yeah. The one thing that I think you should add on the Roku app, which would be good, is if you can include the song title information, like it does on, if you're listening to iTunes or any other streaming thing.
All right.
That would be good.
I will readdress that.
Yeah, that would be a really cool thing because I use it on my TV. I listen to music, and it'd be good to hear the names of the artists. So
now we recently made a change to the CMS radio network where we're playing all archive shows, and there's a little bit of music in between the show starts and stuff. Have you noticed that at all?
I have noticed that, and the thing that I notice the most is that you continuously just play Burning Chrome.
Yeah, I got to address that with Chris. That's just that's just a problem.
What happened?
The Aftershock Burning Chrome keeps playing again and again and again.
Or like the whole sort of CD, and it's funny because it just says track 1, track 6,
because
track
it's
whatever.
Like yeah.
I can deal with that.
We got to fix it. We just switched it over. There's a few glitches, but yeah, it needs to be fixed, and I agree with that.
Yeah. But it's good to listen to those old shows. So they're funny. Just your voices change, the way you guys interview changed over the years. It's sort of neat to just sort of go back and listen to that stuff that I've never heard before.
Nice. Well, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good stuff.
Well, be safe over there in the Big D.
I will. We're about to get a foot of snow. Are you guys going to get some snow there in Cleveland, too?
Yeah, we're getting a foot here.
The snow is already falling over here in Chicagoland, so...
Oh, okay.
I won't be going anywhere in the morning.
Okay. Chris, and I feel... Chris, I feel really bad for you, too, that, by the way, you're going to get the Lions coach as your defensive coordinator.
Well, I can't suck any more than anybody else we've had.
Yeah. Yeah. The Browns. They're as good as the Lions.
Yeah, they're pretty shitty, so it's
perfect.
All right, well, hail and kill, boys.
All right, well, take a ride across that Ambassador Bridge and hit up the casinos over there and win yourself a bunch of Canadian money.
Yeah, fuck you, pal. And job.
Nice.
That's our pal from Detroit.
Big E checking in.
He rode down on a motorcycle to be at our live show.
Yeah, but he wouldn't do it this month.
Yeah, not this month.
Fuck no.
Nice.
I wouldn't ride down in a fucking Hummer. Weather's fucked, man.
Right. Although I would accept a Hummer in this weather.
Yeah, I've been trying to accept a Hummer for months, but it's been slow going on that.
Might be worth it. Might be worth it in the end. Who knows?
Yeah, well, you really don't want me to start telling the real stories.
Not yet. Not yet. I'll let you do that.
I wasn't talking about me.
Oh, you mean my stories?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want me to go there.
I have had quite an interesting 2013. I will agree with that.
Yeah, I would say my exploits may be known because I talk about them, but your exploits are way better.
And the fact is, I can't talk about them.
I know. None of them are fucking on the table. I'm just saying, for as much as everybody likes hearing my crazy shit, where's my shoes and all that kind of shit, not even in the same ballpark. These are chapters of a book that is a bestseller.
And sometimes even surprising and unbelievable to me when it happens.
You know, in a movie where you're just watching the movie and all of a sudden, fucking out of nowhere, you're watching a love story and all of a sudden a serial killer comes and just kills the boyfriend?
Right.
That's you.
Right.
That's your life.
Sure.
Like just all mellow. Oh, there's chicks everywhere. Boom.
Sure.
Whoa. Where did this come from?
It's been a stellar year.
Yeah, especially December.
Right.
Jesus.
Good and bad.
Yeah, mostly good.
Yeah, good and bad though.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Believe me, there's no such thing as I'm a firm believer of this. The further along I get along now, there's no such thing as fucking living a good life or living a bad life. It's all even.
I would imagine, yeah. It's the yin and yang thing.
Yeah, and if you have a really good fucking thing that happens to you, guaranteed something that's equally fucked is coming your way.
Well, it's the whole thing that I put on my little excerpt on your book page. In every adversity, there's an equivalency to benefit if you just look for it.
Yeah, and for me personally, I think you did 2 years of absolute horrendous.
Yeah.
So you got a good month,
I guess,
and a really good month. It's all good.
Sure.
And everybody's going to be pissed because they're waiting for you to just say, okay, let me tell it. And I know you're not going to, and nor should you.
I can't.
Nor should you.
No.
That's between me and you, and you all going to just have to suck it up that we're telling inside shit, and we're not going to tell what it is.
Sure.
It's the way it goes.
Right.